We are back with the next Understanding the Officer video in the series of videos where we cover all of the officers in the game. We are still cruising through the Generation 1 officers, and today's officer that we are focusing on is going to be Winter Huntsman. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Welcome back. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope life is going good for each and every one of you. And like I said in the introduction of the video, the officer of focus today is going to be Winter Huntsman, which is another Generation 1 officer. But before we get going, if you enjoy these Understanding the Officer videos and you want to see more of them in the future, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's try to get this video to at least 100 likes. So Winter Huntsman is a Generation 1 officer, but he is a little bit of a unique officer. He was not actually in the game right out of the gate. He has kind of changed over time, not him personally as like in his skills, but how you can go about obtaining him and actually fully awakening him. So once upon a time, there were two officers, both are Generation 1 officers, Winter Huntsman and the Witcher, which she is a Air Force officer. We'll cover her in a different video, but both of them were tied to a specific Theater of Conquest map. Winter Huntsman being tied to Moscow and Witcher being tied to San Francisco, and you could not get those officers if you did not participate in those Theater of Conquest events, but that has since changed. Now, before we talk about that though, let's do a quick overview on Winter Huntsman's skills. So he doesn't do anything outrageous or anything that is just mind-blowingly good. He's got some decent skills that you can use through the officer skill training system, because just the direct short answer is he is okay in the early game, but he is not really worth your time. Luckily, you can get his skill, or not his skills, but his officer statues very easy, which we're going to discuss here shortly on how to do that. So if you want to get those and just awaken him to say you have them, easy enough, that's fine. If you want to just get enough of his statues to get one skill for the skill training system done, also totally fine, would make sense. But the one thing that he does that is unique and that no other officer, at least currently at this moment in time, does is he can actually quote-unquote freeze enemy units. So we can see here his tactical skill says detonates pre-placed landmines, dealing damage to the enemy. Damage coefficient is 1350. The landmines also trap ground force troops for 2 seconds, preventing them from moving. So that's useful for things like if you're running light tanks in the open field and you're trying to chase down a unit, that can be a benefit there. Or also, if you are on a base defense situation and somebody attacks your base, they start to lose troops, they try to pull back, and their unit gets kind of frozen there. That gives you a chance to gather some more kills off of that unit for that 2 second period of time. In addition to that, the 1350 damage coefficient is actually one of the higher damage coefficients, especially for a Generation 1 officer. Not the highest, but definitely on the upper end of damage coefficients for the Generation 1 officers specifically. Now let's jump over, and we happen to be in a Theater of Conquest event as we speak. So let's jump over and talk about how to get Winter Huntsman statues if you haven't made it to the level 4 or Theater of Conquest stage of the game yet. So now when you start competing in level 4 cities, better known as Theater of Conquest events, you're going to have access to what is called the Conquest store. Now, the items that are available in the Conquest store are the same regardless of whatever battleground you play in. However, the lower tier of battleground that you play in, the less items you will actually be able to purchase. You'll be able to purchase the same items, just less of them, the lower the battleground you are in. But in the Conquest store, you are going to see Winter Huntsman statues and Witcher statues. You can purchase both by earning Conquest cash, easy enough to do just by doing individual and alliance-based challenges, so super easy to acquire and build those up. But like I said, if you do want to level up one of his skills for the officer skill training system, you can very easily do that through the Theater of Conquest store, or if you want to invest in him and fully awaken him just to say you did or to say you have him fully awakened, you can also do that. But it's a very straightforward way to actually get his statues. Now, of course, you can also use universal officer statues to level his skills up, but I would highly suggest against doing that because, number one, you're going to get his statues just passively through the Conquest store anyway. And number two, by the time you start competing in Theater of Conquest events, there's going to be some really good officers going to be starting to come available to you. So I would save your universal officer statues and divert them to some of those Generation 2, 3, and eventually 4 officers instead of investing them in a Generation 1 officer that's not going to do a whole lot for you like Winter Huntsman. So, like most of our other Understanding the Officer videos prior to this one, it's not anything crazy long. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown of Winter Huntsman and what he kind of brings to the table, where his value is, and if he is really worth your time or investment. With that being said, I hope this video helps you, especially if you are a newer player. I hope it brings you some value. If you are a newer player in Warpath and you know other new players that might benefit from seeing these videos, feel free to share this video with them or let them know about the channel in general. We've got a bunch of information that we've covered over the last 2, almost 3 years here on the channel. So we've got something for everybody, and we're going to continue to roll out helpful content as we move forward. If you have stuck around and made it this far into the video, if you have access to Discord and are not already in our community Discord server, the link to that is going to be in the description of the video. Click on that link. It'll take you right into the community Discord server. Whether you are a new player, have questions, want to learn some more, or whether you're a veteran player and just want to come hang out and get to know more people in the community, it doesn't matter. Absolutely everybody is welcome. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch the video today, and we'll see you on the next one.